Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion. Play Slay the Spire. Thought it would be good to just go right back in. I mean, I'm recording this the next day. But we were so close to getting that incredible challenge in the last episode of beating the game with a 5-card deck. We beat the game with a 6-card deck. This could be interesting. So what did we learn? Well, we learned a couple of things. I think you really have to visit pretty much every shop. I think that's a necessity, or at least heavily incentivized. We did a really good job in deck construction. That's not something that I necessarily say about our performances that often. Hold on, you're at 21, so 3 strikes will kill you. And I know we're going to get there. So some of the cards that we had, I would feel completely content to add again. We don't need any of these yet. Like an armaments, you could probably make the case. I think I'd rather just do this, honestly. You could probably make the case, as much as it pains me, that adding armaments is what cost us the win because of the fact, or the challenge victory at least, because of the fact that that was our 6th card. Sadly, no. However, I very much disagree, to be honest. I mean, having one of these cards be a bludgeon would be awesome, but... I think without armaments, sure, we might have beaten the challenge, but I think in general, we would have lost. Dude, I think I can definitely gain the gold just so we could remove another card in the future. Dude, 50 gold to remove a card right now. Don't mind if I do. So we're down to 8 cards. Obviously, we do want to add more cards. I hope that that's not lost on you. Do you think we can actually beat an elite with our current setup? Why not? Sure. This might be the best guy for us. We obviously want Bash. I mean, we're just going to wake him up and then smack the crap out of him. It's the way it's got to go. We're drawing almost our whole deck every single time, which is why I feel like we don't have to play Bash on this turn. We could definitely play it next turn instead. Because of Stopwatch. So, like, I definitely do not think Stopwatch is a whiff for us. I think that this is actually pretty amazing. So, we can learn... I don't know if I'd say our lesson, but, you know, we can learn from our previous performance what we could and could not do. Dude, we actually got him pretty easily here. Like, adding an anger... might not be the worst thing in the world. And we just got an opportunity to grab one. This won't ruin us, right? Like, our deck will remain the same size. We will need... but eventually we're just going to get so many angers. Is that what we want? Kind of ruins Stopwatch, so... as much as I hate to say it, I'm gonna give that a fat old no thanks for now. So I know we do need to remove some cards. That much is pretty much a given. But we're not gonna have enough to remove at both shops. Hold up. Yo. Cheaper things in the shop that we likely will not be... oh no, this gets cheaper too, dude. Okay. Well... certainly we'll remove maybe like a basic defend at this point. We're down to 7 cards and definitely have space. Another chance to add Anchor. Which, for whatever reason, I continuously say incorrectly. And we gotta find a way to beat the boss, man. How on earth are we gonna beat the boss? We need to have... we can't afford to spend money on a card, but we definitely need to... I don't think we can afford to spend money on a card. We definitely need to add a card, though. I am... I don't know if it was the wrong decision. I mean, Ancient T-Set was still pretty good there, but... I would really like to heal without having to heal by resting. I hope we're going to be able to get there. Okay, so I think definitely Carnage is one that I would look to as an almost must-have. Early on, at least. And sure, Shrug It Off is also amazing. I honestly think here we can get away with this. Maybe we actually don't want to heal that much because we are fighting the Hexaghost. The only downside right now is if we get Bash and Carnage on the same turn, we can't play both. I'd rather play Bash for now, honestly, even though Carnage exhausts itself. But on the boss fight, it's a little less of a gimme, you know? We kind of have to, we're going to have to keep our high damage card in the rotation. No doubt about that. So far, I think this is very similar to our last one. I don't think there's any reason, like, we couldn't make this work. On Ascension 0. Sure, an extra 100 gold. Never heard anybody, sort of. Let's upgrade Carnage. We know we have to play it, even ahead of Bash, if you get them on the same turn. Or in this case, you get a little lucky. You can do a little bit of both. That's the kind of turn we're looking for. Alright, so you're doing 24 damage. Obviously, no joke. What, and I'm only asking this because it seems like it's going pretty well so far. Being able to get Carnage like every friggin' turn, dude. It's killer. What do we want from the boss? Dude, I really want to be able to play Bash. I'm begging you. We'd love to not get the bird cage yet, because I think our deck is still a little bit garbage. Okay, so all we need to do is draw Carnage next turn, and it is guaranteed. But it was a little close. We need some better blocks. I don't know how we're going to get there. Let's see what our rare is, you know? Really makes you think. Again, I think maybe, and this worked out okay for us last time, I think you take none of these. A barricade doesn't really seem like the right call for us right now. Impervious gets used once, then it's gone forever. Normally it's maybe a positive. I would disagree here. You gotta go Sozu. That's pretty much non-negotiable, and I'm happy to have the energy. That's a huge enabler for us, because now we can Bash and Carnage on the same turn. However, man, I really would prefer not to fight the big elite, but if we want to hit 2 removals, we pretty much, you know, don't have a choice in the matter. Alright, 15 damage. You guys only need to be hit 3 times to be knocked out, too. But I think I'm just going to take 7, and we'll work on making sure you're not going to be much of a problem in the future. We do still heal after each combat, so, you know, this is not a big concern. For me, at least. So I think this is a perfect time to use our final potion. And then I'm like, okay, you get hit for 7. 14. You're doing 12 damage, dude? Pretty rude. We gotta play Carnage. No, you know what? We actually don't have to play Carnage. Just put this up instead. I actually think you'll just put both of these up instead. Eventually, these guys won't be attacking for that much damage on the same turn. Life will be a lot easier. He's dead to 1 strike. Then if we get 3 other attacks, we just use it to hit the bird. Or the other bird, I should say. Well, I think we'll actually do it like this. Dude, it's so refreshing to not be fighting these guys on Ascension 20. Like, we didn't get ideal draw, and this still went totally fine. Or we don't have an ideal deck, I should say, for these guys. We don't exhaust anything except Carnage accidentally sometimes. I'm just trying to... I'm wary of the fact that, you know, we did come so close and yet so far on our last run. And what was the difference maker? Maybe missing 1 shop to get 1 extra relic by fighting an elite or something like that was enough to sit us. So we gotta be real careful with what we're adding here. I know, you know, dual wield, adding a Carnage has got some real temptation associated with it. There's no doubt about that, but I'm skeptical. So I think we can continue to pull our basic strikes. We got a 7-card deck. Don't really want to add too much more here. Now, I know you're like, why don't you pick up one of these sons of guns? You know, it's a great question. The answer to your question is also great. I feel like I don't want to do that because... Oh, we're going to draw Carnage next turn. Why not block? I don't want to do that because I need to still be able to remove the other cards from this deck. You know, I still need to be able to spend my money in the shop, particularly on removing the basic strikes and defense. This is like the ideal fight for this guy. Okay, I don't care. Weaken me. Oh, every time I play a skill, you're gonna add some garbage to my deck? Looks like that's irrelevant, because all I play is Bash and Strike anyway. Sorry, Bash and Carnage. Still don't want any of these. This elite fight is gonna be a real... It's gonna be a humdinger. I have no concept of how this is gonna go. Well, you have 44 HP. Oh, you lucky so-and-so. I'll put up the blocks just because it's got to be done, but... we're actually not that badly screwed here. One of the cards we didn't draw was Carnage, but he's still going to die next turn. Excuse me? So I hit you for 6. You go down to 1 with 4 block, then you take 6 more. Okay, so thank God. No, I mean, even seeing red, I don't think it matters for us right now. Mostly because we got the energy relic, thankfully. But, okay, you know, I think we're more likely to keep the defense in the deck, I suppose, than the basic strikes at this point. These guys aren't too bad. I was just going to say, as long as we get Bash and Carnage, we got little to worry about. This guy, he entangles me, which seems like probably the worst option. I know you add junk to our deck, so you're going to be the next closest one to take out, but... So basically we're waiting on drawing a Carnage. So you know what, give me the 16 block. Because the thing is, I would prefer not to have to rest. We're not even close to that yet. Like, we got other stuff on the go. You know, with no more wounds being added to the deck, I honestly think we just play enough defense to stay in front of this guy. Whenever possible, at least. Get the vulnerability, then you're just waiting for a single Carnage. I'm amazed how well, and people have been telling me this for like the year and a half I've been playing this game, but I'm amazed how well this actually works. Again, I don't really like these too much, unfortunately. Matrushka I'm a big fan of, but... This hurts. Oh, this one hurts a great deal. Don't talk to me. I'm just thinking, like, do we have any... We only have 7 cards in the deck. I think we can afford to skip this shop. Because I'm pretty sure the elite will kill us. And I mean... At this point, I don't want to say, like, you know me, but, you know, you would expect that I would be more aggressive about fighting the elite. I know it's Ascension 0, don't get me wrong on that one. In spite of that, it still is a real touchy situation, I think. Now, normally this is just a nightmare situation, but, you know, provided we get Carnage again, there's a chance. 31... 6-6, definitely not going to get you, so we'll put up enough block, which is going to give us some dazes, but I think we're going to be fine. Champion Belt is okay. It's okay because we add vulnerability into our... Or we have vulnerability in our deck thanks to Bash, but apart from that, obviously is not like... It's not a top-tier choice necessarily. Definitely cannot afford to receive 5 Apparition. Definitely cannot afford to add 5 bites on top of 2 strikes. Or instead of 2 strikes, rather. You know, I would rather not take the damage, but so be it. Now, I guess at some point, you do have to ask yourself with a deck like this, is this deck capable of beating the game? And I think the answer to that question is definitely no. Where we succeeded last run was in the existence of Searing Blow. I gotta admit, this is pretty close, but... With Searing Blow, and this will 10, 28, 42... You're killable with Carnage. You guys are gonna be a little trickier. We still need more, and I don't know where that more could/will come from, but... I honestly think it's better to take the 12 damage and just, well, 10 damage, thankfully, bash you to put you in a killable state to Carnage. I'm gonna play this one a little close to the chest, but you really just want bash Carnage. Sure, okay. I think we handled that decently. Now, let's rest. This is a real restable situation. I would not be surprised if we died here. I definitely consider this deck worse than the deck that got us here last time. Pretty much just because it doesn't have a Searing Blow, to be honest with you. I think I wouldn't say we've been screwed. That's not really fair, I guess. I kind of like Bash Carnage here, just because it also weakens him, so it's like playing a block along with the extra vulnerability, but I know we're taking some serious heat. Now this time, the vulnerability is not really a problem, so I think we'll just hit him with this. He'll take next turn off, we'll Carnage him again, presumably. Oh no, he's got to be 210, that's right, my math is extremely bad. So we'll do this, take 7 off. I'm pretty sure even if we played our basic blocks, upgraded or otherwise, we'd still be in, like, exactly the same position. You know what I mean? So, I think if he does 20 times 2, there's not much we can do here. 27 times 2 is obviously substantially worse. So, 16, 21 does not get us there. The only hope we have is to make him vulnerable, and then 2 of these, and we still die. We'll try another one over the course of this video. I really like this challenge so far. But I do think we need one of a unique subset of cards. Like, in particular, a Rampage or a Searing Blow. They seem valuable, let's put it that way. Well, I mean, starting with a single card removed doesn't seem that bad. In fact, it seems downright useful, given our current situation. So I think we'll take double elite single shop path here. At this point, I mean, I guess I should say, like, I have no idea if we're doing this right. But I feel like we've come close, and I don't feel like this is, I mean, as compared to A20, I feel like I'm loving life right now. Sure, it's hard, but, like, you know, it's hard for fun reasons instead of the enemies just being, like, mathematically too strong. So the Rampage is a card that I've looked at as, like, I don't want to say a must-have, but a huge enabler for making this work. Now, I don't want to add a Curse to our deck, because that's just one more card we got to remove. Yeah, let's hit a question mark instead. Do it. Beautiful news. Now, probably maybe want to remove a Defend next, but so far so good. So Rampage in a small deck, especially after it gets upgraded, if we can draw this every turn, I mean, we're getting some unbelievable value out of this card. It gives us the ability to get stronger against the bosses, which is the most important thing, I think, if you're not able to have that many cards in your deck. Honestly, why would I take Headbutt? If we only have 5 cards in our deck, which is our goal to begin with, then we don't need a Headbutt because we're going to get 5 cards. We're going to draw everything every turn anyway, you know what I mean? Obviously, we're not quite there yet, but if we don't see this card being part of our... this is sad, but if we don't see this card being part of our final setup, then there's not really much reason to go with it from the beginning. And Tropic Brew is real good, too. So Flame Barrier is really good. I actually think we could totally add that upgraded and cut some basic defense. And it actually does really well against some of these bosses as well. I don't really mind taking a little bit of damage here. 6 damage taken. I feel like we're in a great spot for the shopkeeper. The shopkeeper? What are you talking about? For the elite fight. That's what I meant to say. Rampage Strike is a kill, I think. Well, no longer because of the weakness, but Rampage should still be at 9 damage. Well, you know, still dead. No, thank you. We got to be real careful with what we add. We've already added 2 cards. I don't know if we added 2 cards in our entire previous run. So I think we can win this, and I'm being 100% sincere. I think we can win this just on the strength of Rampage getting amazing and being able to play blocks. So I do think this is a great turn to maybe pop Skill Potion. I don't think offering... Well, you know what? Maybe actually offering... It does lose you 6 HP. It gives you 2 energy. The energy did not get us to the cards we wanted. And we're still going to take a slight bit of damage. But I think the juice is worth the squeeze in this situation. You know, we got to Rampage slightly faster, perhaps, as a result. And that allows us to get the kill faster as well. I think this is by far the happiest I've been for a setup early. So both Flame Barrier and Rampage, those are going to be our first upgrade targets, like, bar none. You got to play it. Go ahead and take 4 damage. And both of those are going to be amazing for us, I think, and hope. Honestly, if we draw Rampage, you're already dead, so I don't really want to invest in that. I know we're a little bit further away. Our boss, oh, dude, our boss is the Hexaghost. So if we get Flame Barrier on the right turn, it bodies the crap out of him. It's wonderful news. Alright, now we can start the route for Rampage, please. It's actually totally fine? You don't want to say that? Come totally? I didn't invent that. It's a real word. You can look it up. So, 2 strikes is a kill. Bash strike is a kill. Whatever. I mean, all things considered, we didn't take very much damage on this fight. I mean, it is A0, but still. Smiling Mask, dude. That seems very good. Nothing else there seems immediately relevant. We gotta stay, high on HP, for one, no question. We've also gotta, keep our gold, because we're trying to, you know, do the whole shop removal setup situation. You get the idea. Rampage, please. Obviously guaranteed, I think. Not bad. We don't need it. We don't need any of them, thankfully. We also haven't had a chance to upgrade any cards. Okay, I mean, obviously we'll take Molten Egg. We don't expect to add many cards to the deck, but, you know. It's not a negative thing to have, that's for sure. I'm stoked, dude. I think we just start with the Rampage and then get it going. I'm stoked. I'm also scared that we're not going to have the chance to remove enough cards now. But I hope that's not the case. I mean, obviously, why wouldn't I hope that that's not the case? But, you know. As the ideal turn, Bash Rampage. We pretty much got him. 2 strikes will probably do it. 2 strikes will literally do it. Don't get too cocky. Tori is really good, especially against the Hexaghost. We don't have any reason to grab those right now. In fact, it's a little spooky. So you probably cut a basic defend at this point. We could also probably afford one thing, because the merchant's thing is only going to cost 1 gold. Or, what am I talking about? The merchant's removal is only going to cost 50 gold, is what I mean. But do we really... What would we take out of these? I think none of these relics are strong enough, and none of the cards... I mean, Battle Trance to get you to Rampage, sure. But I don't want to add a card to our deck. I'm nervous about that right now. I don't think max HP plus 7 means enough, and the only thing we'd be trying to put in our hand by default is Flame Barrier. I don't think that's good enough right now. We don't really need to see what our draw pile is going to give us, because we can make a pretty reasonable approximation at any given time. I think that we're better off waiting for the next shop. Or a shop in the future, indeterminately. I'm stoked, though. I really genuinely think, you know, this could be the one. Let me see. 12? Nah. I mean, I hate to take... You know what? I actually don't take that. I don't hate to take 7 damage here, now that I think about it. First off, we have Tori, so if I play my cards right, I'll take 1 instead of 2. It's not necessarily incredible, but... I also don't mind being low on max HP, or low on HP in general when we go fight the Hexaghost, because he's not going to do as much damage as a result. I'll admit, Clash is kind of fun here. I mean, if we could just remove... No, because we don't have Unceasing Top. I'm getting very guilty of thinking that for some reason we have Unceasing Top at all times. I mean, we might as well take 11 damage instead of 21. You know, being a real pain in the butt. At least, you know, Rampage is good enough that once we have it out there, I mean, exactly that situation can come to pass. This guy's he's entangling me. All that I see. You know what? I'm not gonna use the explosive potion yet, but I will definitely feel compelled to if we need to. We definitely should have gotten rid of the slime. Whatever, he's dead. And we would have fared better with it because we're gonna remove it anyway, but alright. So we are gonna continue to upgrade because it doesn't benefit us to get him with the to go into this fight with more max HP. It's the wrong turn for Flame Barrier. But we might be able to get there next turn anyway, because we draw one more card. There's not the one you're looking for, but let's see what we get out of Entropic Brew. Little weakness seems good. Honestly, 14, so let's see. First 4 attacks will do like... Oh, we can't play Bash anyway. If we can't play Bash anyway... Just toss this on here, take 0 damage. He's going to take a bunch. The Thorn Potion there seems totally fine to me. And, you know, we don't need to play any blocks this turn, so... Although, a Flame Barrier was worth 1 strike, but it cost as much as 2 strikes, so... 6, if we could do this. I'm missing, the upgraded Bash. That is one that I'd like to add on as a little bit of a bonus right now. You're doing 6 damage with a burn. You know what? Why not? To get that Bash upgraded, I think we could definitely keep that in the deck. That's not a card that I think is an urgent, you know, removal situation. 14 damage. I mean, I think at this point, pretty content to just do this because now you're dead. Alright, and we still have a vulnerable potion. Let's see what we get here. I'll admit, offering is really tempting, dude. But we'd have to be able to remove 5 more cards. And I'm not being sincere here. I'm not convinced we're going to be able to do that. So 4 more cards, it just seems easier. No longer being able to smith. We'll never be able to upgrade Bash, but all of the attacks we add are going to be better. It's a tricky choice. That is honestly a situation where I think our second best choice was to just skip the Relic. But that may end up indeed being our best choice. So I think 2 Shop Path is the way you go. I'm relatively unconcerned with our present conditions. We can add cards to the deck. We just have to be careful about what we add. I love this, because now, okay, we killed him, but we take 5. Just kidding. We take 1. No big deal at all. So what you're looking for is Bash. The one downside to what we've got going on right now is that we can never upgrade our Bash. Which might mean that it becomes a removal target, honestly. Lose 90 gold. Remove a... Oh, dude, if you hit Bash... You genius. Give me the full service. Choose a card to remove. You can definitely cut a basic strike, I think. Go for it. He upgraded another basic strike. But you know what? We're down to 8 cards. I'm a happy man. I don't mind getting hit for 5 to get out in front of this guy. The thing is, if anybody chooses to attack me for like multiple attacks, Flame Barrier just absolutely destroys you. Ah, I love it, dude. Okay. Yeah, okay, so I know I said on the last run I was stoked. But, like, if I was stoked on the last run, dude, on this run, I'm stoked. I do think, I mean, there's a lot of stuff here. Pommel Strike in particular seems very good for me. But I think we'll have the chance to add more cards. I would rather get down to 4 cards. We could definitely afford one of these now if we want it. First time you lose HP, draw 3. Whenever you lose HP, gain 3 block. And it seems okay. Are we going to be able to get enough gold by our next shop? I honestly don't think it's guaranteed, and I'd rather be safe than sorry. I don't think self-forming clay is that necessary. So I'd rather just, you know, stay out in front of it, if that makes sense. We're so close to getting Rampage and Flame Barrier on every turn. And that's going to be a real nice setup for me. I don't know why I said that like Jack Nicholson in Batman 1989. That's going to be a real nice setup for me. 24. That means we can actually do 36 damage with this. Which means we can do 44 damage total. You know, I kind of hate it, but I think we'll do it like this. I'd rather not use the vulnerability potion. It just seems more advantageous at a later date. You know what I mean? I mean, let's be honest. This guy's screwed. All we need to do is draw Rampage. And this is the power of Rampage. You know? He's doing 40 damage. We're not even at risk, really. Admittedly, yes, Uppercut also seems very good. Pommel seems very good. But when all of our attacks are upgraded, we're going to get to where we need to go anyway. That's right. We do have to rest. We can't smith anymore. That's fine. We're going to remove, at this point, probably a basic defend. We're down to 6 cards. This is a very good situation. Would we rather draw more on turn 1? I mean, we're only not drawing a card right now. I feel like you don't really need to take a risk on that one. And I definitely, who cares about having 5 potions right now? We're not in a situation where that's necessary. Honestly, go ahead and hit me for 1, and let's get the game started here. I think that this is definitely our best chance so far. And the big reason it's our best chance so far is, you know, pretty much 100% a result of the fact that we're already down to 6 cards. By being already down to 6 cards, if we get to remove 2 cards, we can add a card back into the deck. And adding 1 card into the deck at this point is like an unbelievable boon. This Rampage deck is crushing it, man. Okay, I mean, it's interesting, but no, I think now's not the time for Searing Blow, unfortunately. I think we've committed to the Rampage aesthetic, and I'm fine with that. The boot seems pretty terrible for us right now. We have to remove a card. That's non-negotiable. I think, honestly, I think I'd still feel compelled to probably remove a basic strike, even though it's upgraded. And then we could start each combat with 1 artifact. I actually think that that's pretty great. And all we need, I mean, we don't need to get 50 gold anymore. Why not recall, dude? We're not healing anyway. Why not? We gotta get the Rampage kicking, though. It's probably more important than the vulnerability, I guess. 6 damage. AKA 0, AKA I don't care. Your negative effects are not gonna affect me, thankfully. So we're at the level we need to be. Could this deck beat the boss? That's a great question, dude. It's not the boss of this floor. I think that's pretty much is likely. But could it beat the boss of the 3rd floor? I think the answer to that question is maybe, which has me very intrigued. Why wouldn't we take a second Rampage here? It seems like a... I know that we have to remove another card at some point in the future, but having 2 Rampages... it seems fantastic. We don't need any other attacks. We could remove Bash at this point. We probably would remove a basic defend, but... you know, in theory, we could remove Bash and all that. Maybe should have thought this one through. And here's the thing, we have to rest anyway. So go ahead, hit me for 21 and see if I care, dude. That's the only time that went badly, and it's because we didn't draw Flame Barrier on the turn we wanted to see it on. Obviously we don't need anything else. We gotta remove cards. We gotta remove a card. Runic Dodecahedron seems actually pretty good here for us. All you gotta do is draw the Flame Barrier on the proper turn. This is not the proper turn, but that's okay. Let's see if we can get the rampages kicking out there early. If we can get both of course, we only have one more card in our deck. Pretty strong suspicion that one's going to be the next card we draw. All right, so there's your easy money play. It's all very good, let's be honest, but start kicking that around a little earlier here. The extra vulnerability would be nice, but that's what we have the potion for as well. So we still got Runic Dodecahedron kicking for us. Love to see it. Both rampages cruising. Drawing them both on the same turn seems pretty solid to me, dude. Now, I do think, believe it or not, the existence of one rampage does make our other rampage worse, but only if we don't draw both rampages in the same turn. And we will almost always do it right now, but once we remove one more card, obviously it's going to be even better. We're going to draw them in the same turn, like, every single time. Well, that'll work. Easy fight, honestly. Turns out Runic Dodecahedron might be amazing. I honestly think we can afford to take none of these. I don't think Bludgeon's that good for us here. And then, you can no longer rest. You can no longer see intense. Whenever you lose HP, draw a card. This is a really tough call again, because I don't know if we're ever going to need to rest. We might as well take Runic Cube. There's no reason not to have it. But there's no reason to skip, I should say. Do we need 5 energy? There are times it would be nice to have 5 energy. We really don't need to rest very much, but maybe we will. Maybe we will. So you know what? Give me a Runic Cube. I'm hedging my bets a little bit. I think we got a chance. Please don't add garbage to my deck. I know you love to do that stuff. I was so convinced there was going to be no shops, and then I looked at it a little closer, and I was like, dude, there's like 10 shops. Okay, relax. Don't freak out. It's an easy setup. We have one problem with this deck. It starts slow. Then there's nothing we can do to fix that. Not with the limited amount of time we have left. Just being honest. So how do we get around that? Dude, I don't know. It's a great question. I mean, I don't have a good answer for you at all. We block well enough, I suppose. We draw properly. Which is easier said than done, but... We're basically, on this fight, we're just getting to the point where each bash is good enough to kill one of these guys. Or sorry, each rampage is good enough to kill one of these guys. And, I mean, once we get there, it's pretty much over. Dude, thank God, by the way, for Runic Dodecahedron, actually making it completely irrelevant for us to have an energy relic on top of the one we already had. Like... Yeah, okay. I get so tempted, and then I'm like, why would I even... You know, there's no reason. Don't even add the curse, just lose the max HP. I hate to do it, but it's got to be done. I really don't want to put myself in a situation where I can't heal. Fighting a boss from Act 1 seems like the obvious choice, right? What's our other card? It's Bash. I think we're just going to get you next turn anyway. We're going to roll you over. We need to do 23 damage. This is pretty simple in my book. Flame Barrier on this one. Okay, Flame Barrier. You're doing 9 damage. You're doing 3 to us when we hit you. So I can hit you one more time and I'll be fine. Now, what do I want for a rare relic? That's a great question, dude. I mean, of course we need Flame Barrier on that turn. Let's catch him with one of those. I don't know. I guess we'll see. I'm not going to get too picky about it just yet. He's dead, dude. Well... He's closing in on deadness. We should have obviously hit him again one more time. That's my bad. But also, he's dead. Whenever you exhaust the card, deal 3 damage to all enemies. Gotta tell ya, I'm not sure if that one's as good as I was hoping. I don't know, man. This seems like the one. We're definitely going to be able to remove a card. This guy, he's going to be a little tricky, obviously, but our blocks are good enough that we can do something like that. And basically, if we Flame Barrier and he attacks, he's pretty much dead. He's not quite dead. He's dead, dude. Why do I even look? Okay, 268. We gotta remove a card. This is a tough one. I still think you probably just remove a defend, because we have the energy base, so we'd rather just have a flame barrier in our hand at all times. But the bash is pretty close to being what I would also want to remove. I don't think we need the strength on elite combats. I would rather save a little bit of flexibility, honestly. So, fortunately, we're committed to resting, but it does get us closer to the boss without putting ourselves in any danger at all. Dude, I'd rather hit the other shop, even though it's also a waste of one space. No fooling. I don't want to fight the other elite at this point. I think we have a real, genuine chance. It would be foolish to try to mess with it. 16, 16. You're doing how much? 16, you're doing 24 damage. So we're definitely going to be hit unless we can kill you. And I don't think we can kill you. If we make you... You know what? This might be worth an attempt here. Just to make sure... Because it is valuable for us to have Runic Dodecahedron giving us the 5 energy base. It's very unlikely, just for the record, for that to last. We'll probably lose it turn 1 against Donodeca. Though it pains me to admit it. Maybe turn 2. So again, we can add a card, but I feel compelled to not do so if possible. I'd rather, you know, hit the shop up here, see what we get relic-wise. Dude, Omamori actually could be sort of valuable here. We could remove a card and add another card. Or we could buy something that heals us when we take a potion, which doesn't seem that valuable. I'm very wary about going down to 4 cards. Because then, we're not doing anything. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have enough draw. We're only drawing 4 cards. We'll probably end our turn with energy in reserve. But Pommel doesn't really seem that good here. So I think we'll skip this one. And there's one more shop. What I'm trying to get at, I guess, is if we get one more, and we're totally well equipped to tackle this dude now. If we get a card reward that seems like it would fit, absolutely take it. Why not? We're just wary about the first turn where we don't draw both rampages. Luckily, doesn't appear to be happening. We could take it and then still be able to remove it at the shop. That's what I'm getting at. Alright, that turned out to be extremely easy. Like, True Grit, it actually seems terrible for us because we have to start exhausting the cards in our hand every time we play it. And Power Through is just garbage, and Rupture doesn't give us any benefit. So we skipped that, obviously. I mean, I would rather not take any damage, so just get those rampages chunking along here. Again, Runic Dodecahedron is of pivotal importance for us. I wouldn't, like, I'm trying to think of what would be nice to add, and the sad answer that, you know, is very, you don't say, is, it would be amazing for us to add another flame barrier. Now, I don't know if you would consider the odds of that to be particularly likely. Might as well ice you, right? But another flame barrier, it seems like a great fit. Gonna hit you exactly. You know, I could hit you again and kill you. That seems better. I think the next thing we need is a better block. Oh my god, what? Okay, yeah, totally. I wish we could upgrade it, but the only other thing I could think of is, would we rather have an upgraded entrench? Because we're going to be removing our defend. Yeah, I guess we would rather have an upgraded entrench. Yeah. It pains me because that's what I wanted. But this is better than what I wanted because of the energy cost. It'll give us an extra 16 block for 1 energy every turn instead of 12 plus thorns for double the cost. So, absolutely. That was a mature decision on my part. I hate to say it, but, like, come on. So now this is what we're drawing every turn until we get dazes, but what are you gonna do, right? I really feel like the abacus is amazing for us, so we're gonna get an extra, basically 6 block per turn for free. Sure, dude, I'll give you 7 gold in order to pick up the red mask, and let's see, we might have a genuine chance. You're doing 20 damage turn 1, so you obviously, you gotta go here. And we gotta take 0, so let's do that. And I think, as much as I love the bashes, to some extent, this bad boy is all about the rampages. Now, the dazes are gonna screw this whole deck up, dude. We might as well pop, dude, but also, don't be a fool. Pop, pop. 26. So we'll pop this. Yeah. And then, I mean, I think we're still in, like, rampage territory. As much as I would love the bash to be out there, at least we're getting something out of Sharon's Ashes. Some turns it's not going to be viable. 6. 24. Yeah. So it turns out one more energy would have been really relevant. Thank you, Abacus, by the way. Now I'm like, dude, you're gonna get me. You're gonna ruin Runic Dodecahedron. You sorry son of a gun. You can't ruin it any more than it's already been ruined. So, at least one of you is gonna be dead before things get super dire for me. But we are gonna be on 4 energy now, which means we have to make a decision. You're at 79 HP. Which means we're gonna do this, and that. We're not gonna get the double. We'll take 2 damage. But we're not going to have any more dazes added to our deck either. So I'm going to be honest. Oh, actually, this guy will add dazes to our deck when he gets us, now that I think about it. This guy is screwed. He's done. We're going to beat this challenge. And dude, this is a great challenge. I had a wonderful time. It did take me a few tries to do it, but what's a few tries as compared to Ascension level 3000? By the way, could have killed him. My bad, but that was a really fun run. So I do see that I got the achievement, Minimalist. Fun run, dude. Hope you've enjoyed it. This is a good puzzle-solving exercise. 2 rampages, a flame barrier, an entrench, and a bash. And that's all you need to get the run going. So, I mean, I'll show you here. Like, where was Minimalist? It's gotta be somewhere in the hard ones, right? Minimal, it's right there. Fiendfire. Beat the game with a 5-card deck or smaller. You want to see the deck? You dirty boy. It takes a second to load it. It's querying the database. There you go, dude. It's a big old print screen. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. See ya!